Today, we're at NASA Langley Research Center in Hampton, Virginia. NASA Langley is the oldest of the 9 NASA facilities.
Here's another Langley fact. See this huge structure? Its original name was the Lunar Landing Research Facility, but today we call it the gantry. In the 1960s, Apollo astronauts trained right here at NASA Langley to land on the moon.
The title of today's show is Measurement, Ratios, and Graphing. 3, 2, 1, crash. And get this, measurement, ratios, and graphs are used every day by NASA researchers. They make predictions and draw conclusions using the data they collect from their research and extreme tests.
Speaking of graphs, does this look familiar? Of course, this grid would never fit on your desk. It's huge! Each square measures 1 meter by 1 meter. Anyway, NASA researchers use this grid for film analysis.
The aircraft passes in front of the grid and is tracked by a camera. Then engineers can measure the distance the aircraft travels in a certain amount of time. NASA engineers analyze this data and make conclusions based on the test results. Finally, they communicate what they've learned to aircraft companies so they can build safer aircraft. We'll learn more about how NASA crashes aircraft from this gantry later on in the show.
Right, but first, let's learn more about NASA Langley.
Today's National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA, was established in 1958, but its historical roots reach back much farther to the early 1900s. Powered flight was developed by the Wright brothers in 1903. However, during World War I, America realized how far it was behind other countries in developing air power. So, Congress created the NACA, or the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics.
What is aeronautics?
Aeronautics is simply the science of flight. Anyway, the NACA decided to build an aeronautical research facility, and they found the perfect location. A site was chosen in Hampton, Virginia, and the facility was named the Langley Memorial Aeronautical Laboratory, after an early aviation pioneer, Samuel Pierpont Langley.
Later, in 1958, Congress changed the name of the NACA to NASA, and NASA Langley Research Center helped give birth to the space program. America's first manned-in-space program, Project Mercury, began at NASA Langley.
Today, NASA has grown to 9 centers across the United States that are involved in aeronautics, earth science, space science, and human exploration of space. The knowledge gained from NASA research can be found in everyday objects like sunglasses, athletic shoes, cordless products, and even the highways we drive on.
So, the next time you fly in an airplane, remember that almost every American aircraft today uses technology that was developed right here at NASA Langley Research Center.